Japanese, Kurosawa Rin is a breath of fresh air in the Aikatsu anime, which I've discovered by analyzing all of her experiences and motivations. This is a thorough deep dive containing spoilers for the entire original series. If that's okay with you, let's get started. Kurosawa Rin was always a very active character, even when she's only 5 years old. She takes gymnastics classes at first, but quickly becomes interested in street dance, an interest that her parents seem to support, since they take her to see a performance by the famous dance duo Sunny and Johnny soon after. This experience cements Rin's love of dance. She's so inspired by Sunny and Johnny's partnership that she wants to spend as much time as possible dancing with her own friends. To accomplish this goal, she joins a dance team when she's somewhere between the ages of 5 and 10. Despite Rin's passion, she later admits that she is terrible. She dances for fun, and fun has nothing to do with her technical abilities. She particularly loves dancing with her mentor, and she gets plenty of encouragement to keep going regardless of her skill level. Eventually, though, her childhood enthusiasm becomes harder to sustain. When Rin is in 5th grade, she takes a competitive audition called the Junior Dancing Audition. And this time, she can't focus on having fun. She's dancing alone, first of all, and on top of that, she's there specifically to compete. It makes her incredibly nervous. But right when she's starting to panic backstage, she's interrupted by a girl her age. She encourages Rin to relax and teases her into loosening up. Live your life and just let it flow, she advises. If you believe in yourself with all your heart, then nothing bad will ever faze you. Just go out and enjoy it like you always do. Rin learns that the girl's name is Minami, and she deeply appreciates the advice. Thanks to her, Rin is able to focus on enjoying her performance and ends up winning the audition. Minami had been right. As long as she believed in herself and was having fun, there was nothing to be worried about. Rin and Minami make a promise to reunite in the future, and then Rin goes on to become even more ambitious in her goals as a dancer. She stays active with her dance team, starts uploading dance videos online, and gains a reputation as the Dancing Bolt. All in preparation for her next big milestone, her enrollment at the idol school, Starlight Academy. Starlight Academy is a very important place for Rin. It's the school where Johnny of Sunny and Johnny now teaches. Every dancer she knows idolizes him, and Rin is eager to start training with him. As soon as she gets to middle school, she'll be able to become his student. In 5th and 6th grade, her final years of elementary school, she keeps a close eye on Starlight Academy idols. She watches TriStar on TV, and Masquerade's revival concert, and the face-off concert between Miyabi and Sakura, plus other idol programs like Dream Academy's Maria Zoo show. We don't know exactly when Starlight Academy's entrance exams are held, but it's probably around January during Rin's final year of elementary school, based on when high school entrance exams are usually held in Japan. And thanks to Rin's preparation, she goes from a terrible, nervous dancer to the top-scoring dancer in that year's entrance exam, which naturally gets her an acceptance letter. Rin is extremely excited to become a real Starlight student, a Johnny student, in just a few months. And right when she's starting to imagine her new life at her new school, she starts watching Ozura Weather, an extra dose of Starlight Idol inspiration to start her mornings on an aspirational note. When the day finally arrives for her to move into the Starlight dorms, she dances all the way to the school gates. She's in pure, excited bliss. Until she's stopped by the weather girl, Ozura Akari, in the flesh. Rin freezes up in shock at first, but manages to introduce herself. Making a good impression on her new seniors is important to her. Akari is Rin's assigned mentor, and she introduces Rin to her group of friends. But as soon as Rin admits that she's nervous for the entrance ceremony, she's teased by another new student, a cheerful girl named Madoka. Madoka turns out to be Rin's new roommate in the dorms, and by the time they start unpacking, Rin has already forgotten all about their embarrassing introduction. She's just met Johnny himself, and been praised by him, twice. Everything had gone so perfectly that the natural next step was to become best friends with her roommate. Thankfully, Madoka has the same plan, and is open to being her partner in the first audition of the year, a competition to become the featured students on the new student directory. The audition is only for pairs, so Rin has the perfect opportunity to get to know Madoka better. With the knowledge that Johnny is nearby supervising the new class, Rin is eager to start practicing. She shows off a little to Akari and Madoka, plus Akari's friend Sumire, and reassures Madoka that she wants to get to know her even if their skill levels don't quite match up yet. Although Rin is being a little presumptuous and maybe a little condescending too, Madoka is happy to follow along with her training regimen. And in the process of explaining how much this opportunity means to her, Rin ends up talking a lot about herself. The audition is the next day, and luckily, Madoka says that she's having fun and loves dancing with Rin. That affirmation makes Rin feel confident that they'll do great. Johnny even encourages them backstage. They go on to win the audition, and the two new roommates give each other a celebratory hug. Up on stage, Madoka bluntly praises their performance, and Rin starts to realize something. There might be more edge to Madoka's personality than she'd initially recognized. Maybe Madoka was sharper than she gave her credit for. Maybe she'd keep up with her just fine after all. It makes Rin feel even more interested in her. Early on in the school year, Rin has to learn a difficult lesson about her own abilities. She's idolized Johnny and his partner Sunny since she was a little kid. She's spent years dreaming of what she'll be able to do when she's finally a Starlight Academy idol. And in her mind, the only thing missing now is Sunny. Rin knows that Sunny stopped dancing a few years ago when he started his fashion brand, Dance Fusion. As a fan, she of course supports his new project. She even makes plans to get one of his dresses for her first professional dance costume. So when she asks Johnny for advice and he reminisces about his old partner, it's easy for Rin to see it as an opportunity. An opportunity to get her idols back together. Johnny says that he'd promised to raise idols worthy of Sunny's designs, so Rin will be one of those idols. She'll reconnect them and they'll reunite as partners. Then she'll get to see them perform again, just like when she was little. Rin arranges a meeting with Sunny with that goal in mind, but he gently shuts her down. His time dancing with Johnny is over and he's very confident in that decision. It doesn't make any sense to Rin though. He praises her dancing, even dances with her, and gives her the dress she wanted, but she still leaves the meeting feeling unsatisfied. When Rin brings up her disappointment to Johnny, he also shuts down her ideas about reuniting them. It's not walking the same path that makes you a team, he tells her. What does it mean to be a team? To be a friend? Go think it over. Johnny's firm tone surprises Rin. It's the first time she's felt like she's been scolded, and by her hero no less. She had assumed that Johnny and Sunny both loved dance like her, and loved dancing together like her. But clearly she was missing something if they were both so determined to stay apart. Conveniently, Rin finds her answer just by listening to her friends. They all have different skill sets, but they're still able to support each other. That must be the kind of partnership that Johnny and Sunny had now. They didn't need to dance together to feel that bond. After her first gig as a real idol, Rin sees Johnny and Sunny talking in the empty concert hall. And despite her disappointment, bringing them together in that moment is enough for her. They inspire her to look forward to her own partnerships with her friends. Dance might be her main passion, but it isn't the only way to connect with people. Thanks to her new open-mindedness, Rin accepts an invitation to form a unit with one of her seniors, Hikami Sumire. Sumire was Madoka's mentor and Akari's friend, but they hadn't interacted much one-on-one. In fact, Sumire had recently made her debut as a singer and was already very popular. Because of this, Sumire's initial proposal makes Rin very nervous. She doubts that she's the right choice for someone so musically talented. After all, Rin struggled in vocal lessons just that morning. But Sumire is confident and very nice and has lots of praise for her, so Rin gets swept up in her vision for the project. As soon as Rin agrees, their debut concert is scheduled for the following week, which Sumire says is plenty of time for their preparations, but Rin can't help feeling stressed. Sumire is a year older than her and much farther along in her idol training. If there's anything Rin could possibly do to keep up, it should be in dance, right? Unfortunately, Rin gets so caught up in showing off during their dance practice that she sprains her ankle, an injury that will take a full week of recovery. It's crushing news, and Rin feels absolutely terrible for ruining Sumire's plans. She tries to convince Johnny to let her try pushing through for practice, but he's serious about her recovery period. So, Rin returns to her dorm room defeated, and the next day, she and Madoka open their door to find Sumire waiting for them. Sumire clearly feels bad about the injury too, and Rin tries to reassure her that it's not her fault. But they don't reach any kind of resolution about where to go from there, and Rin starts to feel a little depressed. Avoiding dance is really difficult for her, and so is missing her first ever unit debut, and getting scolded by her favorite teacher. Her ankle doesn't hurt much anymore, but her growing regret over the whole situation sure does. She starts to feel like the unit was a bad idea. Rin was clearly too far behind, and she should probably take this as a sign that Sumire picked the wrong person. After agonizing over the decision for a while, Rin goes to find Sumire and tell her that she's quitting. Sumire doesn't seem to share her concerns, but Rin has already made up her mind. She couldn't keep up with Sumire in basically anything, and there was no point in moving forward. Not if she was just going to lag behind her the whole time. Of course, Rin feels horrible about letting Sumire down, and of course she wishes it had worked out. Which is why when Sumire visits her the next day and refuses to let her quit, Rin is easily swept up in her confidence again. Sumire is going ahead with the concert solo and wants Rin to coach her on dancing. It'd be rude of Rin to say no after how many compromises Sumire has made for her. Even though Rin can't participate in the dance, helping Sumire practice inspires her. For the first time, she feels like she might have something to offer in their potential partnership. So during their break, she asks Sumire why she's so invested in their unit. And Sumire says it's because it feels like fate to her. She sees a future with Rin, and it's hard to argue against such a romantic perspective. When Rin goes to the concert the next day, she puts aside her guilt to open her mind to Sumire's vision for them. And the performance Sumire gives touches her heart. She can see herself on that stage, dancing with Sumire, and she wants to give the opportunity her full effort, to find out what kind of fate Sumire had imagined. Sumire introduces Rin to the audience, and she's pulled up on stage for a promise. Rin, Sumire says, I will make you shine. In exchange, you make me shine in return. And of course Rin agrees. They're officially partners. The news about Rin and Sumire's unit debut is covered by the media the next day, and the two of them pick up where they left off. They choose a name, Dancing Diva, and are assigned a promotional schedule. Rin is nervous for such a sudden workload, but Sumire is as gentle and confident as always. Rin quickly begins to rely on her as they navigate their first full day of work together. By their second day on the job, Rin has already fallen head over heels for Sumire. Now that she's embraced their partnership, there's nothing stopping her from admiring Sumire's passion for singing, or her considerate personality, or her work ethic. And Rin is thrilled by the occasional opportunity she finds to help Sumire in return. On the night before their debut concert, after a busy week of promotions, the two of them reflect on how quickly their relationship has grown. They're really happy with their progress, and excited for even more work in the future. They fall asleep listening to their song together, and their concert the next day is a massive success. Dancing Diva's debut song tops the charts at #1 for multiple weeks in a row. They head out on a tour of all the major music shows and start missing a lot of school. They film a music video, are booked for interviews and radio appearances, and become Starlight Academy's top idol unit. So when the school announces a tournament for duo units called the Unit Cup, Rin and Sumire are excited. Their friends have all followed their lead to form their own units, but none of them have come close to reaching Dancing Diva's popularity. And sure enough, the only reason they get second place in the contest is because of a freak accident involving another unit's lost costumes. But at the end of that summer, only 4 months into her first year at Starlight Academy, Dancing Diva's activities start to ramp down. Sumire joins a new unit with Hikari and their friend Hinaki called Luminous. And from there, Rin suddenly has a lot more free time. Which is fine with her, since she's maintained a close friendship with Monika despite her busy schedule. The two of them support each other, rarely argue, and make an effort to spend time together. Rin has gained a genuine appreciation for Monika's straightforward, occasionally childish personality. She's just fun to be around. That's why it's not a problem when a new 3-member unit competition is announced, and Rin is forced to find a new partner. She has Monika right there, eager to participate with her. And when their friend Juri asks to join them, they're ready to enter the contest. Rin and Monika know that their main advantage is the contrast in their personalities, but adding Juri's quirks to the mix muddies their concept a little too much. The trio struggles to land on a direction for their performance, but they eventually work things out. Rin even comes up with their name, Vanilla Chili Pepper, to represent their differences. They end up getting 5th place in the competition, which they're all happy with even though they'd originally wanted to win. The experience makes Rin feel closer to Juri, so she and Monika start hanging out with her more often. They help Luminous plan a whole tour across Japan, but Sumire still makes time to take jobs for Dancing Diva. Plus, the Luminous tour gets Rin back in contact with her old friend, Minami, so there's no room for hard feelings. By the end of the Luminous Tour and the tail end of her first year at Starlight Academy, Rin has experienced explosive growth as an idol. She's very famous thanks to her dancing diva work, which remains consistent thanks to Sumire's dedication. And she's also booked and busy with various Vanilla Chili Pepper gigs. She gets a big role in a Starlight drama special, acting alongside Johnny too. As the school year draws to a close, the Starlight Queen Cup is announced, a competition to crown the Starlight Queen, the middle school's top idol. Rin and Monika both sign up for it, and start preparing for the competition along with all of their friends. But suddenly, Monika tells Rin that she's reserved a concert hall for them. They've been so busy promoting themselves separately that she misses Rin and wants to perform with her again. Rin is immediately on board. She's missed Monika too, and is very grateful for the thoughtful gesture. She'd assumed that an ambitious project like a concert would be difficult for Monika to arrange, and she's impressed that Monika has grown so much without her noticing. She wants to find a way to thank her, and it just so happens that Monika's birthday is the day before their concert. To celebrate, Rin plans a beautiful outing for the two of them. They'll go to a cafe Monika has been wanting to visit, and Rin plans to bake a cake for her birthday. They'll enjoy an evening out in town, and then sit down for sweets right in time for sunset views of the city. Their training over the next few days goes well, and then it's time for Rin to whisk Monika away for her surprise. Which she loves, of course. Monika's happiness makes Rin feel happy, and they go to their concert performance feeling bonded as best friends. The two of them share these same nerves when the Starlight Queen Cup finally arrives. It's a 3-day event, and they're performing on the second day. But where Rin feels skeptical that she'll be able to place well, Monika feels confident that they've worked hard enough. And it's that confidence that helps Rin fall asleep on the night before the competition. Rin's performance earns her 3rd place, and she seems unsure of how to feel at first. When Monika passes her backstage, Rin tells her the result with a look of resignation. But Monika isn't worried about her. She's focused on her own shot at 1st place. That's enough to cheer up Rin, and when she encourages her friend, they're both able to relax. Monika reaches 2nd place, pushing Rin down to 4th, and the two of them reflect on their placements back in their dressing room. They bicker about who had wanted to win more for a moment, but soon start laughing. At the end of the day, they had fun together, and they're happy to call each other their rivals. The next day is Sumire's turn to perform, so Rin goes looking for her to offer her support. If she and Monika had lost their chances at Starlight Queen, she wants Sumire to claim the title instead. Sumire asks her to monitor her dance practice, and Rin can't find anything to criticize. Her performance should be perfect. Unfortunately, Sumire suffers a massive fall during the competition. Rin had been nervous for her and is shocked along with everyone else. But Rin doesn't check on Sumire at all. After Akari gets 1st place, Rin is in 6th, with Sumire at the bottom of the runner-up group in 8th. For her closing speech, Rin seems proud of her placement. The Starlight Queen Cup was incredibly fun, she says. I poured my passion into Aikatsu together with everyone up until now, but today I realized it once again. I'm blessed with the very best of rivals. Next year, I'm gonna aim for even greater heights. Thanks so much. At the after party, we still don't see Rin talking with Sumire. She's hanging out with Monika, and the two of them presumably head back to their dorm without saying much of note to their unit partners who have just experienced something life-changing. It's Rin's final major appearance, and it's one of the only dropped plot threads in her story. Although Rin is treated a lot better than most of her castmates in the Akari generation, the staff interviews I found about her explain the sudden drop-off in her relationship with Sumire. Even though the decision to pair up Rin and Sumire was made early on in development, the staff seemed to have been more interested in her dynamic with Monika, and for some reason felt that Dancing Diva was a distraction from that relationship. Even though we consistently see Rin and Monika hang out together throughout the series, the Aikatsu official guidebook Akari generation has Rin say, Monika and I have been together ever since we started school, and although we're not in a unit, we're best friends. Our Aikatsu activities have made us busier and we've drifted apart more, but through our live performances we've reaffirmed that our friendship is unchanging. That insecurity around their friendship is echoed by series director Ryuichi Kimura, who says, also, Rin and Monika's episode 171, Best Friend, was born out of an opinion that was raised as one of the things left unfinished. Although the two were roommates in the school dormitory, they didn't have many opportunities to show their strong bond. There was a talk of forming a unit with Rin and Monika, but that was also lost. After the unit cup was over, they became a trio, so there was no chance for the two of them to form a team. But I really wanted to do an episode where Rin and Madoka staying friends, so I asked them to create a scenario that would show their friendship and growth at the same time. I theorized that because director Kimura was supervising the Aikatsu Stars team at the time that the Akari generation was being written, he didn't have a thorough understanding of how the characters had changed since their initial introductions. So when he came back in to supervise the end of the original series, he made some strange choices, like seeing Madoka and Rin as being similar to Ichigo and Seira and wanting them to cover their song. All of that, combined with the heavy focus on Sumire and Akari's relationship in the final episodes, means that Rin and Sumire's deep connection was left unacknowledged in a moment that really should have highlighted their continued partnership, especially since Dancing Diva was the most committed of the duo units. So for our closing thoughts, I turned to someone who was definitely paying attention to Rin's full story, Takada Yuki, her voice actress. She says in the Aikatsu official guidebook Akari Generation, for Rin, meeting Sumire was a huge step toward her growth. The unit provided Rin with a wealth of inspiration. I think that's an accurate reflection of how important Sumire was in helping Rin mature so much in such a short time. As for Rin's quote, soft spot for Madoka, end quote, as the guidebook puts it, Takada notes that even though Madoka and Rin are rivals, they respect each other, which is ultimately the core of their relationship. Rin starts out feeling superior to Madoka only to discover that she consistently underestimates her. Once Rin realizes how bold Madoka actually is, she's able to appreciate her as an equal. Those strong relationships and the room they have to grow are the reason why Rin's story feels so complete. Let's hope we can say the same about Madoka in our final character deep dive for the original series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I've proven that I don't actually hate the entire Akari generation. The more minor characters are all pretty strong. Let me know your thoughts about Rin in the comments below, and keep an eye out for our Mecha Panic ranking next week. Bye bye!